everybody, and welcome back to another video here on my YouTube. And for this video, this is going to be about yesterday's 2018 Daytona 500. Now, let's get off, or let's start pretty much about who I was pulling for in this race. I had to win and all that. I was pretty much going for Alex Bowman to win it because he was on the pole and he was replacing Dale Earnhardt Jr. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. was the only one to watch when Jeff Gordon retired. So yesterday in the race, I watched a good amount of it, but the thing about it was there was too many cautions, and there was also too many idiot comments from a lot of people, which I'll get to in a second. So here's pretty much what happened. Kyle Busch wound up having a problem with his tire because he had like a problem with like the right. It was either the right rear tire or the left rear tire, one of them. I think it was the right rear tire. He blew a tire, then he had to go in and get another tire, then he wound up blowing that or something or whatever happened. And then Jimmy Johnson wound up getting into a crash with a bunch of people because my cousin was rooting for Kyle Busch to win, my aunt was rooting for Jimmy Johnson to win, and I was rooting for Alex Bowman. Bowman would wind up later getting into a wreck with a bunch of other people too, and Chase Elliott, another odds-on favorite, was also in a wreck too. Keselowski was a favorite, and a bunch of others that were favorites too. So pretty much about this race, just to say, like if this was a good race, a bad race, a decent race or whatever, this, in my opinion, it started off as a little bit of a disappointing race because of the fact that the way it was going, because there was a lot of commercials and there was a lot of wrecks too. Not only that, in the Xfinity series there was a lot of cautions too, which was which was disappointing too. But this, excuse me, this race wound up being pretty good, and not only that, I say that is because of the ending. Now, some people probably don't know, but a lot of people do know. 20 years ago, on February 16th, I believe it was, one of them dates, Dale Earnhardt Sr. wound up winning the Daytona 500 in 1998 for the first time ever. And of course, that line from Mike Joy that he said when he called the race on CBS, 20 years of trying, 20 years of trying, 20 years of frustration, Dale Earnhardt will come to the caution flag to win the Daytona 500. Finally. And of course, they showed a lot of clips of it and a lot of people talking about it, because not only that, it was February 18th yesterday, which is the unfortunate anniversary of Dale Earnhardt's passing at the 2001 Daytona 500. A Daytona 500, a lot of people don't want to, think about, even though it was turning out to be a pretty good one, but the ending was just not great. Yeah. I didn't really watch it on television, but I heard about it and I put on Sports Center, and that's when I heard about the whole thing. But it's still, really sad to this day. Anyway, so, and another thing I was disappointed about for the Daytona 500 was they did not do the silent lap 3. Why in the heck did they not do that? It was February 18th, 17 years since he unfortunately passed, and they deserved to do that. I'm sure there was probably at least a good amount of people in the crowd that do that, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that do that at NASCAR, probably every track or so, but even though they don't do it. But again, they should have done that. The last time they did it was 2011, which was 10 years of his passing. And again, they should have done that. They should have, had silent lap 3 and everybody stand up and put their 3 fingers in the air to honor him. But I did anyway, because I always do that, because you see this poster right over here that I have. I have another one that's right over here. And I have, I thought I had another poster. Excuse me. So, but I also have some plaques of him over here. I've got a good amount that are down here, and some on the right too. But again, like I said, in my opinion, it should have happened. I put it on my Facebook, and I said on there they should have done the silent lap 3. And a couple of my friends said, Who else is going to stand up and put their three fingers up for Dale? And one of her friends on there wound up saying, "Not me." And I'm like, that's disrespectful right there. Because for one, if you say that, you're not, you're not really a true fan. You're not well, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, to like a NASCAR, whoever they want. But still, when you say something stupid like that about not, respecting Dale like that, in my opinion, that's pretty stupid. Even though there are a lot of people that did not like Dale. I mean, some, did like him, some didn't. But a good amount of people did like him. But as I said before, NASCAR has never been the same since he passed away. It never has been the same. The only thing that's been good was we watched Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt Jr., Mark Martin, Tony Stewart, Dale Jarrett, Rusty Wallace, Bobby Labonte, Terry Labonte, and a bunch of other of those that were racing after he passed. Dale Earnhardt Jr. was pretty much the popular one to watch. Jeff Gordon and the other ones that I mentioned too. Because I remember back in the day when it was always NASCAR on TNT and NASCAR on NBC or whatever, and I always remember that. I watch a good amount of those clips on YouTube, and I watch, the classic races, like when Dale Earnhardt Jr. won in 2001, which was a little bit after the 9/11 attack. Of course, the Pepsi 400 that Dale Earnhardt Jr. won after the tragic passing of his father. A couple others that Jeff Gordon won, and a few others. And some in there, that haven't won in a while, like, I think, what's his name? Rusty Wallace won a few, like I watched on there, and a couple others too. And this is, of course, before Kyle Busch came along and Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski. I mean, nothing against them, but, well, the thing is, I hate Kyle Busch, really. I'm just not a fan of him. For one, I think he's a crybaby, and I think he's overrated. Same thing with Jimmy Johnson. You can, say whatever you want to me. Yes, he does have 7 NASCAR championships, and he has a lot of wins, but as I've said many times before, and this is a true statement, he will never, not to quote Chris Jericho, as he says, ever, he will never be as good as Dale Earnhardt. Never. I mean, yes, he's out there racing and doing what he wants to do, win or all that stuff. But again, he is no Dale Earnhardt. He will never be as good as Dale Earnhardt. He will never even be better than Dale Earnhardt. Never. He is overrated, and he's won too many in NASCAR. He did not deserve to win 5 straight NASCAR championships. It deserved to be somebody else. Dale Earnhardt Jr. should have at least won one. Jeff Gordon should have won his 5th. Mark Martin deserved to win one too. He never won a championship. A lot of people deserved it more than Jimmy Johnson. Johnson could have won maybe 2 in a row and all that, but that's it. The 7 NASCAR championships that he has, most of them don't deserve to be with him because, again, he's overrated, and I don't care about anybody saying he's the best driver to watch out there. He is not. Chase Elliott is good to watch out there. Alex Bowman is a rookie. William Bryan, I think, whatever his name is, who drives a 24 car, and a bunch of others to watch too. I don't like Jimmy Johnson, and that's it. He is overrated. That's it. Kyle Busch is the same way. Kurt Busch is alright. I don't like Keselowski. He's overrated. I don't like Logano. I just like Chase Elliott, William Bryan, whatever it is, or Byron, I don't know what it is, and Alex Bowman. I mean, yeah, like I said, just no more to say about that. But anyway, back to the race. So now we get to pretty much the ending of the race. Now we come down to the white flag, and Austin Dillon, who drives the number 3 car for Richard Childress Racing, is in second place, and Eric Almirola is the leader. And this is when all the shit happens. He is right behind Almirola, and Almirola is blocking him, and Alex Bowman taps him, and which causes Almirola to lose control. And that gives Austin Dillon the lead. And I said on Facebook, 20 years ago, the number 3 car was in victory lane. 20 years later, It's back in victory lane again at the Daytona 500. And there you go. Now, this is when all the shit started. Like I said, everybody was saying that it was rigged and he cheated. Number one, it was not rigged. And number two, he did not cheat because, for one, Almirola was blocking him, and the only way for him to get past him was to try and get Almirola out of his way, and that's what he did. He did not spin him out. Almirola was blocking him, and Almirola did not even say anything about him cheating or saying that he spun him out. He did not. He won the race just like that. He won it fair. A lot of people need to keep their opinions to themselves and don't say anything. Just congratulate Austin Dillon, and that's it. Again, the number 3 car was in victory lane 20 years ago, and 20 years later, it's now in victory lane again. And that's it. That's all you can say. And a lot of the drivers just say, we'll just move on to Atlanta next week. And there you go. That's it. You don't have to go out on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or whatever things that you want or whatever and say, again, that Austin Dillon cheated and it was rigged. Because, again, you're not going to get anybody to agree with you. The only people you're going to get to agree is yourself. That's it. A lot of people have different opinions about it and say that he won the race fair. They put it out on Instagram and said, was it a dirty pass or a good pass? It was a good pass, a lot of people said. And yes, there were comments saying it was a dirty pass, but no. I mean, you can call it that if you want, but again, nobody's going to agree with you because that's not how he won it. He won it fair and square, and he did not cheat again. So again, like I said, I thought pretty much that this was a good race. It was. I'm glad Austin Dillon won. I wouldn't have minded if Eric Almirola won too. I'm glad Keselowski didn't win. Kurt Busch was a favorite too, but he got into an accident with a bunch of other people too, or a wreck, any way you want to call it. And again, it was, I didn't mind if Kurt Busch won. It was just pretty much anybody besides Logano and Keselowski and Kyle Busch, and that I think Ryan Blaney was doing pretty good too. But again, like I said, it was a good victory once again for Austin Dillon, and there you go. So I'm going to wrap it up here. So if you have something to say about this, you can comment below, but no negative stuff. You can subscribe as well if you'd like to, and leave a thumb up on this video if you like to. And that's, again, going to wrap it up here. So thanks again for watching this, and you all take care. Happy President's Day, by the way, because that's what today is. And you all enjoy your day, and you all take care.